25 years ago, India's life insurance sector witnessed a historic shift. The doors opened to the private participation, transforming the way financial protection was perceived in this country. From 35,000 crore in premiums then, the industry today commands over 8 lakh crore, and its scale reflects in every aspect of our economy and society. Indian life insurers today hold AUM of 62 lakh crore with over 33 crore policies in force, supported by a branch network of 11,500 outlets. The sector employs nearly 29 lakh agents and over 4 lakh full-time employees. In FY24 alone, life insurance companies disbursed death benefit of close to 50,000 crore, reaffirming their role in financial resilience. Notably, these companies also contribute to India's economic infrastructure, holding a substantial share, 26% in government securities. At the heart of this story stands HDFC Life, India's first private life insurer, now celebrating 25 years of building trust, protecting families, and driving innovation in the sector. And what better day to mark the milestone than Insurance Awareness Day, a day dedicated to reminding every Indian about the importance of financial protection. With that, let us begin the first episode of HDFC Life Presents Live Sessions, partnered by ET Now. Joining me today are some of the most influential and respected voices in the government and industry. Shri M. Nagaraju, Secretary, Department of Financial Services, Ministry of Finance. Madam Vibha Padalkar, MD and CEO of HDFC Life. Thank you, ma'am, for joining this landmark session. To begin with, I'll start with Nagaraju sir only. Sir, recently we celebrated 25 years of IRDA. During that, you shared your views that IRDA has played a role in growth of insurance industry, protection of policy holders. So from DFS point of view, what are the main contribution of insurance industry in the overall economic activity?
The life insurance has always been one of the important pillars of financial architecture. The life insurance industry has significantly contributed to the development of the country in several ways. 3-4 important ways are: one is it has deepened the formal saving structure in the country and provided risk coverage to the population and also to the property. And schemes like PM Jeevan Jyoti Yojana, that has provided to the poorest of the poor life insurance coverage. This actually created a lot of awareness, and it also led to financial inclusion even in the remote areas. If you look at it, even during the COVID period, life insurance industry has performed exceptionally well. I would say that in the last 25 years, insurance industry has done country proud, but there is a lot of scope to do well.
Vibha ma'am, you were the first company to get license from IRDA, the first private insurers, and we have seen the growth of insurance industry, and mainly it is accelerated by the private players, and HDFC particularly played an important role in that. So according to you, in last 25 years, what has really worked? The innovation, distribution, or the brand HDFC, or the combination of everything?
Yes, this is a proud moment because it's coming of age of the private sector. Few things that have worked, and I'll talk broader about the sector rather than only my company. I think distribution, innovation, and inclusion. These three aspects is something that I'm very happy that we have as a sector focused on. As far as distribution, because the last mile connectivity, India is a vast country, and if we don't have distribution, then how do I get to that customer? Because insurance, as is known, is a little bit more involved conversation. So that becomes important, and happy to share that not only feet on street agents, but we have banks, corporate agents, brokers, digital service providers, new ecosystems, rural banks, and so on. So we need all of those modes. So that is number one. Number two is, like you touched upon, innovation, wherein product innovation has been several. Also because India is not static. India's socio-economic fabric has changed dramatically from our parents and then grandparents. Earlier there was joint family, there was property, gold, real estate were proxies, and so on. Now with nuclear families, even in tier 2 cities. So that means that the whole product has to move with how socio-economic changes. I'm very happy that we talk explicitly about pure term, retirement, guaranteed products, health products, rather than only one type of product. That's point number 2. And last is inclusion. Happy to again share that, for example, in my company, tier 2 and 3 new business is almost 3/4 of my new business comes from tier 2 and 3. So that means
you are
that
reaching the last mile.
Absolutely, because we have distribution, because we have suitable products, I'm able to reach that last mile. So it's a triage. So very happy, but like sir said, lots more to do before we rest.
Yes, sir. Your company is managing assets of around 3.5 trillion, and in last 25 years we have seen the growth. So what are the main decision really shaped the company, and do you also think that brand HDFC, the group's culture, the trust among the public has helped HDFC Life to grow in last 25 years?
Absolutely. See, we keep things simple. We want the company to last next 100 years. So we are only as a fiduciary responsibility. So we cannot cut corners. We have to do right selling, need-based selling. We have to grow, but we have to grow with quality. That is how we keep things simple. Also, we have to keep customer to the core. So whether it is in terms of troubling the customer lesser, at the onboarding stage, being able to use digital also to be able to, like in COVID, like if we were possible to settle over 60,000 crores of claim as a sector because we had these capabilities, that becomes important. And lastly, it is in terms of proof of the why insurance, which is claim settlement, maturity payout has to happen with a lot of comfort, only then trust is built. So I think the HDFC brand, because you asked that question, summarizes customer centricity, long-term value creation for all stakeholders, and ethical business practices. I think that's what defines us as a culture of the company.
The data suggests that recently the penetration of insurance has gone down. Now it's at 2.8% and we are far below the global benchmark. So as per you, because a lot of initiatives you have taken in last 1 year and we have seen the results also. So what more need to be done so we can reach near the global average also, because we are much below the global average in insurance penetration?
You are right, Anurag. Our insurance penetration is 2.8% as of now. And we need to actually do all three, combination of all three. The products have to be simpler, so that a large number of people will be able to understand what kind of products they are buying it and what they are eligible when in times of need. That's one. And also they should be reachable. They should be low cost products also. We need to come up with this. And then the other thing is awareness. Awareness, recently the industry has launched awareness campaign. We wanted that industry should also take up these awareness programs, because within the country, while urban and semi-urban segment of the population are fully aware of the benefits of insurance, but in the rural and semi-rural areas, they still lack the understanding and still don't feel the need for insurance. So we need to come up with more awareness program, both by the community as well as the insurance industry, so that most people get the insurance coverage. The other thing, we have been emphasizing on ease of doing business. That has to be very easy for the population so that they will be attracted to insurance.
So do you think that regulations over last few years has also impacted the insurance penetration?
Yes, the regulator, they take their own decisions with a long-term vision of development of the sector in a robust manner. I think because of the recent events, it could have gone down, but our hope is that insurance penetration will increase as the number of middle class will increase, and the tendency to insure themselves and property will go up.
with the aspiring middle class and the growth of country, we are going ahead. Insurance penetration will increase. And sir, reforms by government, because couple of reforms are in pipeline which will be unveiled in going ahead. That will also play an important role, like 100% FDI recently announced by government.
Yes, I think all of you know, Honorable Finance Minister has announced the intention of the government to allow 100% FDI into insurance sector. This also not only the FDI, but there are also a few other progressive measures we also package into the thing. And the government is very keen that we do this as quickly as possible, because we have received tremendous positive feedback from the insurance industry and large number of ecosystem players that if you allow, the large number of many foreign players may come, bring their capital and invest in India, and therefore we will be able to expand insurance coverage for the population.
Vibha ma'am, when we talk about the insurance in India, the term insurance is not that much popular. Do you think that unbundling can be a important thing which insurance industry can take up, and how we can increase the overall penetration of term insurance? Because when we discuss globally, insurance means term insurance, but in India, the percentage of term insurance is very, very low.
So, what comes to mind is that we are asking a child to start running a marathon before they can even walk properly. Okay. Those who can run marathons should run marathons. I have nothing against it. So, those who have the capability or the inclination to unbundle, buy this, buy that, please do. However, let's put things into context. Number one, like I mentioned earlier, we had a different social fabric wherein there was a whole family and so on. So, people looked more in terms of my kids, my house, something happens, rather than only pure term insurance. And there were enough forms of other proxy for term insurance, like I mentioned earlier. So it starts from there. Thereafter, it will move to your employer might have it. Employer could be a private sector, it could be the government or any other organization. You will have some insurance from there. Thereafter, people will move up the curve. These are all steps of awareness. As insurance awareness starts, accessibility, sir also mentioned, awareness, accessibility, affordability. These three A's are very important. And India, as its per capita GDP progresses, affordability also goes up. By that time, awareness also has caught up. Even in pension, awareness. So when I joined like 17 years ago, the Sar Utha Ke Jio tagline of my company, people used to say, what is this? I should say, in your older ages, we should, be self-reliant. They didn't understand we are talking about. Now they are no longer saying that. Now it's moved to, okay, I need pension, I know now which instrument, how much, which is a growth of in terms of people realizing that they need. So it will take time. Last point I want to make is that these objectives are different. Insurance is not necessarily only for liquidity. If you want liquidity, there are many other instruments. This gives you largely protection. The mechanism of protection is not important. Let us not fuss too much. Only this is right, this is not right. I'm of the camp, anything, even 10x cover is better than zero cover. 20x cover is better than 10x cover. So whatever people can buy in whatever preferred mechanism, I think is a good answer. Also, if you look at just equity mutual funds, at the end of 5 years, only 5 rupees is left if 100 rupees is invested. With insurance, it's almost 40 to 50 rupees. See, because we think of this psychologically to say this is for a rainy day, this is for an emergency, not for a holiday, not for some discretionary expense and so on. That's how we are human beings. We are not just IRR and mathematics, the emotions involved.
There is a scope for all types of products.
Absolutely. Let us not sit in judgment and kill it before it has reached a certain stage of awareness. So that's my limited point.
Insurance market in India is not that much matured, so people need to have other products also, not only term.
Yeah, and even term, 17 years ago, term was 0.8% of the private sector. Today, it's in double digits, right, which is a huge, and that's in APE terms, right? Okay. In a number of policies sold, it is 3 times as much. So even there, we have made a lot of progress. plus double of that if you add annuities. So I think we are making very good progress, in fact.
And with the increasing pie, with the scope, with, as sir is saying, that aspiring middle class is improving, so there will be a lot of scope for term insurance also going ahead.
Yeah, and also if you look at sum assured, IRDA data is available. When you see sum assured, it is growing by leaps and bounds. It is growing faster than premiums, which means what? It means that more and more people are getting higher levels of cover, not only your basic 10 times cover. So that's a good place. Slow and steady. People need to understand it, be able to afford it, and then buy it.
Nagaraju sir, in listed space, there are, if I talk about the life insurance company, there are 3 private insurers which are listed, 1 PSU insurer which is listed, but there are other 10 companies which has a AUM of more than 50,000 crore. They are not listed. But when we talk about in a banking sector where RBI has come up with a upper layer NBFC, they will have to list. So do you think that for more transparency, for more public disclosures, more and more insurance company should come on a listing platform?
I think so. It's good for everybody if more and more firms are listed. It also brings more transparency in their functioning, and also brings a little more independent directors into play. The public also will know how the functioning of the company. I wish, I think anybody who is working for a certain time, they should go for listing.
So there will be any framework or timeline?
No, I think from our side, government side, we don't think we can prescribe. While as a business strategy, I hope each company will take their own decisions.
And sir, do you think this Insurance Act amendment, the new reform you will be bringing in, it will be a game changer in insurance industry, and it will be beneficial for insurance company, for policy holders, for public at large?
Yes, I truly believe that the reform the government intends to bring, they are crucial for Viksit Bharat 2047. We need to grow as an insured country. We have a 2047 insurance for all motto. Government has a motto. To achieve that, we require support of the companies which are working outside. We also require capital. We also require innovation in the products. So India is a big country. There are a large number of people, and large number of businesses, large assets. So all of them can come actually provide protection to the people who require. 2047, the country should have insurance for all.
Okay. Ma'am, as a government's vision and mission is of insurance for all by 2047, so according to you, how the next 25 years will shape up in insurance industry, especially in life insurance space?
See, we have to look at how every district, at a district level, at a taluka level, what are the products that we are able to offer? How are we able to collaborate with the government to see what all data, of course within the Data Protection Act, so that we can give more and more coverage, because underwriting becomes important also, similar to what banks have and small finance banks. They've seen this kind of growth on the connecting the dots on data. So that's the second part. Third part is in terms of some of the what we are expecting for the insurance amendment bill, and what are the optionalities for money flows coming into the country, spurring growth, innovation on different structures which today might be restrictive. So I am very hopeful. This is just the beginning. Awareness certainly has increased. Now it's a question of, as affordability towards Viksit Bharat continues to go up, and some states are $4,000 per capita today in India, and we're seeing a lot of traction there, but really it needs to penetrate, become a lot more broad-based. I think I'm extremely hopeful.
And according to ma'am, in last 25 years, because for insurance the distribution is most important medium, and all the distribution channels like agents, like banca, assurance, now for millennials or Gen Zs, the online platform is also there. So which has played an important role, and do you think that there will be a major shift in any distribution channel also going ahead?
See, there will always be preferences of the customer for one channel versus the other, and I don't think we should sit in judgment that this is the right one, that is not. What is the need of the hour? Like your opening statement was, as much distribution, so how do we reach the last mile? That becomes very important. So all will coexist, they will coexist peacefully. There will be different preferences exactly in other financial services. Whatever we buy, you might buy in one way, I might buy another way, and both of us are right. End objective is how do we get enough insurance for, rather than getting obfuscated by some other things that are not even relevant in this conversation.
Sir, we keep hearing that the government may change few rules also. There will be tighter rules going ahead. So, is any such plans of government going ahead to curb the banca channel, or to have a limit in overall share and all?
We told the banks not to insist to buy insurance products along with credit delivery. Both are independent decisions people should make. If a bank is giving credit, that's fine. But bank should not insist, I'm giving this credit, you should also take insurance product. That we have told. I think more or less most banks are now doing it. The insurance products are sold by different persons who are trained in the insurance business.
So government focus is there, the insurance penetration should happen, and it should happen in a proper way. Mis-selling should not be there. And ma'am, when we talk about the term insurance, so penetration is low, you have picked it. So going ahead, when we discuss about the term insurance, the penetration will increase. So the rates also will increase, or premium will remain same only at this level only, because overall mortality rates may change.
See, like everything we buy in our economy, there will be an inflation. Is it going to go much higher than inflation? I don't think so. But in line with inflation over a period of time, like everything else, it will be. Now, what is noteworthy, however, is that once a person buys a term policy, then after that we cannot reprice. So if you get a 1 crore cover, say an individual is 35 years of age, that's the right time to buy, because presumably marriage and some of the other things are on the way. So there, say the cost is 12,000 rupees or 1,000 rupees a month. Then after that, unfortunately, if something happens to that individual, say 2 months after, I cannot reprice it. I will have to cover that individual until that, throughout the term of the policy. That is a very important. So people should not overthink that is it expensive, my neighbor had it little bit cheaper, or somebody else, person in the next cubicle had it little bit cheaper. I think we should take it as soon as we can, before we have any illnesses or lifestyle illnesses and so on. That should be the mantra of term insurance.
Sir, you spoke about the government's scheme. So going ahead, sir, government want that the more and more number of people should enroll in these schemes, because at the very low premium these schemes are available, and more awareness can be created about this government sponsored scheme which is giving a coverage at a very low premium.
We want that every person, eligible person, should get enrolled in the PM Jivan Jyoti Bima Yojana. In fact, the government is launching a saturation drive from 1st of July to include all the uncovered population into all the financial inclusion schemes, including PM JJY and PMSBY. So this we will be, each Gram Panchayat or bank staff and others, with the support of the state governments, will be going and identifying people who are not covered and asking them to get enrolled, so that entire population is covered under the scheme.
What message you will be giving to our millions of viewers on the Insurance Awareness Day, where we wish to have that every family is protected by insurance?
See, insurance is important for every person, and every person should have some form of insurance. If all three categories one is having, that's good, but at least health and life, these two are important, one should have. It gives a peace of mind and also channels the savings and contributes to the development of the country.
Ma'am, what will be your message to our viewers on this National Insurance Awareness Day? It will be a final comment.
I think sir said it. Just to repeat again, please look after yourself, health, life and credit. Credit, because don't leave liabilities to your loved ones. Everything else, don't get consumed by other things, IRR, returns and so on. Focus on well-being of the family.
Thank you so much, Nagaraju sir. Thank you so much, Vibha ma'am, for joining us today. Thank you so much for this landmark session. We will see you in next episode of HDFC Life Presents Live Sessions partnered by ET Now.